All right, folks, on today's cash flow testimony, we're here with Bill Dowers. Bill's with Profit Pro Bookkeeping out of Cincinnati, Ohio. He and I's been, I think we connected, last fall, Bill, right along the time when started working alongside Cashflow Mike. And man, the one thing I wanted to tell you is this is something I noticed standing on the outside looking in is I don't know where you were before you that I met you, but man, you are in the meetings. You're asking the questions. Not only asking the questions, but you bring a lot of your things to the table for just and not only is Mike giving you advice, but you're getting all this advice from the groups that Mike runs inside of his Clear Path to Cash program. And I wanted to compliment you on that because a lot of times working in business coaching and just working alongside different folks is the one thing I see people do is they suffer in silence or they try to figure it out on their own or they don't rest into the resources or they don't go into the vault that's been created for them. So I wanted to point that out to you, man. And as part of your testimonial for for Mike's programs, but I wanted to give a big shout out to you on just how you take advantage of all the things that Mike provides.
Thanks, Jeff. I really appreciate that. Mike's community is a great place to grow, and that's what I've learned from it. Is it's a group of like-minded individuals. We all have the same goal. And we're all pushing each other to try to become better, and we're open with asking the different questions that we may have. So I really appreciate being part of the group, and it's just a tremendous value to be able to work with that type of individuals. Some of the success that I've had with Mike personally, besides the growth, but it's also with some of the clients that I've been able to bring on. And I'll give you an example. One of them is a coffee shop, and this was one of my first clients, and they came to me because they were having an expense problem. And so what I was able to do is I was able to sit down with them, and through Mike's training and the software that Mike provides, we were able to put their numbers inside of it and really kind of pinpoint where we can help improve the expense ratios that they have and what they needed to do. So through that, it took about 6 months to get to where we needed to be. Sometimes changes just don't happen overnight, but we were able to cut their expenses by 30%. And that 30% was a significant number, and it basically took them from being the point to where they were unprofitable to profitable. So we saved a business's life. I mean, you can look at it that way. If we did not do anything for them, they were on a downward trajectory that was not going to change. So that was a big success for all of us. A couple other ones that I had a client come to me, and they were looking at doing a business acquisition. So we spent some time together, and we were able to sit down with the client and work with them and take all the numbers from the business that they were looking to purchase, throw it into Mike's software. It gave us a ton of different areas that we needed to address and advice that we could give to the client on what they needed to ask more questions about and what they needed to do. That particular client themselves ended up being a one-time client for $1,000. And then if they decide to continue, I do monthly bookkeeping with my company, and then we would take them on as a monthly client as well for $500 a month. So that's still in progress. So I'll give you an update on whether or not that client decides to buy that business or not. It was great to give them objective advice and let them do with it what they need to do. And then the third one that I have is a success story that I actually just put out on my website this month, the client of the month. And I've been working with them for the better part of a year. And through Mike's software, what you're able to do is you're able to mark a point where you started working with the client, and then you can watch them go throughout the entire year and see how they go. And we can actually show the client, look, this is when you hired me, this is where we were, and this is where we are now, a year later. And so it's just fantastic to be able to show that, and we can show all the different changes that we kind of made along the way also. And this particular client had a 25% growth in their gross profit, and then at the end of the day, their net profit increased by 65%. So a tremendous amount of growth for this particular client just by taking the advice that you can find through working with Mike's group, working with Mike, using the software. So that's also that's $1,000 a month client. And given the success that we had, I don't think they're going anywhere. So it's
Yeah.
definitely a good relationship.
Yeah, it sounds like using Mike's programs gave you some confidence, and it has me as well, Bill. It gave you some confidence that you were able to transfer over to your clients as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of people out there that are business coaches and that are business advisors and that are bookkeepers. But what the program did for me, in particular, that separates me from that group, is that yes, I can do your books and yes, I can take care of that. But with Mike's program, I can bring that added touch of being a business advisor to the client. And I have the documented proof on how I can help them and how they can help themselves. So yes, it did give me the confidence to be able to talk to them about how to help their business, how to help their business grow or how to help their business cut expenses. I don't know how I would do it without Mike's software, without Mike's
We
group.
One of the things I was going to point out to you, and the day that we're recording this, one of my first calls was coffee shop owner struggling to pay herself. And one of the absolute things I just told her, so I wanted to echo what Bill is saying here, just to throw another plug in for the greater good of accountant, bookkeepers, client advisory services. Sometimes we think that business owners got it all together and we're very transactional and we're just coming to, they don't need my help. They just need me to do their taxes and get them back going. And I'm focused here. But when you're working with them, it's a really great opportunity just so you can start deploying some of Mike's tactics that he teaches. And that's what was working with her. First thing this morning was she was exactly that client you just spoke of. And so when you started talking about that, it's like a deja vu moment for me. Is we overlook those clients sometimes that maybe look good on paper, but they just need they we don't realize that how much help or that advice that you could give them, Bill, to where it's going to be the difference in them staying in business or closing up shop or selling or living in misery. So, man, I just I want to tell you, man, I work in small business. I coach small business. I've had mentors that come alongside of me. And I just want to tell you, man, I really appreciate how you use those tools, how you use Mike's programs to just help empower the folks that are, especially in the Cincinnati, Ohio area, that work with you and have the opportunity to work with you. Alongside that, folks that are listening to this, if you're on the business side and you want to work with Bill, how can they get in touch with you, Bill?
They can contact me through my cell phone, and that is 859 803 6628. Or you can also look up my website, and it is profitpro-bookkeeping.com.
That sounds great, Bill. Thank you for taking a few minutes today to let us learn more about you and then share your success that you've had with Cashflow Mike's programs.
Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate you having me here today and the time that we spent together and all the help that the group has given me. So thank you very much.
Absolutely.